very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the L.A. Chargers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. First play's a run with Nwangwu. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Off the play fake, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there, and it's 3rd and short. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for Minnesota. 43 yards. On 1st down, they'll run with Nwangwu. The Vikings at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room, but they do have to start winning some games.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Play fake, Cousins. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, complete. That's Johnston. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Justin Herbert looking to pass. The Vikings after it, and they get there for the sack. Dean Lowry with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed him up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession.
Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll go right back to the Wagyu. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. When you talk about the defense for these Chargers, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
Held them well under 200 yards of total offense. In today's NFL, that's a feat to be proud of, especially with the emphasis on offense and what we're seeing each and every week.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Cousins now. And that is incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you come in off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Davis now to return it. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he is going to lose yardage here. Well, when you get an elite running back like he is, sometimes you've got to employ the by any means necessary method to get him down.
Yeah, sometimes you're relieved even if a flag comes out. But if you just get the hand up and you get it on the mask, you can kind of get away with that. But as soon as you curl it around a finger or the hand, that's pretty easy for everyone to see, and they'll call that one every time.
Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack he's usually responsible or ends up getting...
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Mike Williams, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chargers are on the board first here this afternoon.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. At their own 14-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second down and 4. Now Cousins. This is Smith with a grab. Fights through and now a crease. Down the left sideline. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Jeff Smith, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. Here comes a return from the end zone. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here's Herbert. Williams brings it in. And wrangled down quickly just past the 40 at the 41. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
On first down, it's Herbert. Across the formation, he's got a man. That's Allen. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
After a string of healthy seasons, injuries finally caught up to Allen again in 2022, but he still managed over 700 yards in 10 games and is in a great spot to become just the second Charger to reach 10,000 career receiving yards. He makes a really nice play there for a first.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Cine, and the Vikings are going to have the football here at their own 45-yard line. And Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 years of football, because remember, he threw 3 picks last year.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and his coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen for Nwangu. Into space at the 45. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A first down throw for Cousins. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Third and long for Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Returnable here for Davis. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. He'll hand off here to Eckler, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. He finds his target, Allen. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Here's Herbert. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass, and the Chargers have taken the lead. And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point up and good by Dicker, and that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Nwangu now from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. First down, here's Cousins. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. He was out there waving his arm saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Chargers. Donald Parham, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
On second down, Cousins again. Looking here for Smith downfield. And the third interception thrown by Cousins. How about this? reception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. This is a counter play. Eckler, he had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Once more, here's Eckler. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Here's Cousins. Incomplete.
Well, so far on this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now a give running left is Nwangu. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And this will be a Vikings first down as he gets it up past the 35. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
Pick it up.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Michael Davis. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. After the turnover, here's Herbert. This will be caught inside the 10. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Herbert. And it's caught. Touchdown. Mike Williams. in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chargers will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And a rout is on here in this first half. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. Nwangu now from his end zone. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis and Brandon Gaudin getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they score here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on second down. He's got Allen. Oh, he sheds himself free. Still going. Touchdown, Allen. Keenan Allen, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Chargers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Extra point try now from Dicker. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
The score, Chargers 42, Vikings 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Nwangu now from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. This is 2nd and 8. Another run now for Nwangu. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
First catch for last year's NFL catch leader, and it's a 1st down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
They go play action. Cousins. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Khalil Mack. That is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Nwangu going to get it on the counter, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught, and he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Able to convert on 3rd and 14, a terrific play call.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Jefferson going to go in motion right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Asante Samuel Jr. there finding his way to the ball for a stop and a tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, man, come on!
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Cousins. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Cousins. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 52 yards. And the Vikings are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Charger drive about to get going. Still comfortably on top, 3rd quarter as they start things here with a 1st and 10. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And that is incomplete. Hurley did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Fielded at about the 28. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
Take it to the house.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Play fake. Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Cousins to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Up the middle to Roger. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kene Nwangu taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Vikings get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. They started on the ground with Eckler.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for L.A. Pulled in at the 24. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Airing it out deep for Smith. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Michael Davis. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. Uses the spin, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 44 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
It's Eckler again. And shedding through the tackle. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
I know we're in the era of wide open football, a lot of spread formations, more space. But there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day.
Set. Home control.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Finds Johnston. It'll go as a gain of 4. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger 1st down. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps. For these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure it.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Nwangu now from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
First and 10. At their own 18-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Good routes here.
One last shot now for Cousins. He'll get this to Nwangu. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared, but executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So for the Chargers, it's an ideal